Hello and welcome to my channel Physics Talk. In this video, I'll teach Newton's second law of motion. In the last video, I taught Newton's first law. If you have not seen that video, then please click the I button. Before we move on to Newton's second law of motion, let's see what is inertia and momentum. So let's look at a scenario. Suppose we have an object here. Okay, and we are taking two cases. First case is it is less massive and we are pushing it with our hands. So in this case it will move easily. And the second case is it is a massive object. Massive means more massive than the first case. And if we are pushing it just as hard as we were pushing it in the first case, then it will move less rapidly. So this property is known as inertia. Now there is another term called weight, which is sometimes mixed up with inertia. But inertia is actually how hard it is to get the object going. It is quite different from how much it weighs. Of course, weight is proportional to inertia. Now on Earth's surface, weight is numerically equal to inertia. Now a question arises, how do we measure this inertia? So the quantitative measure of inertia is known as mass. Okay, now what is momentum? So momentum is denoted by this letter P with an arrow above, since it is a vector quantity. So momentum is equal to mass into velocity. Okay, so now we can study Newton's second law. So Newton's second law says that sum of all the forces acting on the body is equal to rate of change of momentum. Okay, so what does this mean? That F is equal to d of p vector by dt. When we are studying Newtonian physics, okay, we always say that mass is a constant with respect to time. Therefore, we can write F is equal to d of m into v by dt. So we can take m out. So this is m into dv by dt, and dv by dt is a. So it is m into a. That is F is equal to ma. This is the famous Newton's second law of equation. For our discussion of mechanics, this is the universal truth. But this is always not true. We will see this when we will study special relativity. Also, when we will study center of mass, there we will study a variable mass problem where this F is equal to ma will not be true completely. Now, how to work with Newton's first and second law? Let's look at that with the help of an example. Suppose this is the question. There is a block of mass capital M. It is pulled by a string at an angle of theta. Acceleration of the block is given. We need to find force applied by the string and by the table on the block. Okay, so we will divide this into 4 steps. The first step, step 1, is we need to decide the system. Now, what is a system? System can be a particle, it can be block or group of blocks. The only constraint is that whatever system we are deciding, the components inside the system all must have same acceleration. Okay, so now we move on to step 2. So step 2 is identify the forces acting on the system. Now in our case, the forces acting on the system, which is the block in our case, are gravitational force, which is mg downwards. Second is contact force, which is denoted by N and it is upwards. And the third is tension of the string, which is denoted by T. Okay, now we move on to step 3. So what is step 3? We need to make free body diagram. What do I mean by this? That we need to represent the system by a point in a separate diagram and draw vectors representing the forces on the system with this point as the origin. What is the meaning of this? First we need to represent the system by a point. So suppose this is our system, which is the block. This point is our system. Now we will draw the vectors representing the forces on the system. So vectors are, this is mg, which is the gravitational force, this is N, and this is T, the tension force with an angle theta. So this is the free body diagram. Now we move on to the next step. So step 4. Step 4 is we need to choose the axis and write equations. Okay, axis means x, y and z axis. The directions of this axis we need to choose. In our case, we will choose y as the upward direction and x as the horizontal direction. So if we resolve our forces in our free body diagram, we will get something like this. This is N, this is mg, this is t cos theta, this is t sine theta, and we have acceleration in x direction as a. Now we just need to write the equations in x and y directions to solve this problem. So in x direction, the force acting is only t cos theta, and we have acceleration a. So F is equal to m into a. So we get T is equal to ma by cos theta. Okay, so this is our first answer. Now in y direction, so in y direction there is no acceleration, and this direction is the plus y direction and this is the minus y direction. Therefore we can write the sum of forces as n plus t sine theta, since both are in upward direction, and minus mg because this is in downward direction, is equal to m into acceleration, which is 0. Therefore we can write n is equal to mg minus t sine theta. By putting the value of t, we get mg minus ma sine theta by cos theta. Therefore we get n is equal to m into g minus a tan theta. So this is our second answer. So that's all from this video. Please watch the next video for the third law. If you like my videos, then please click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to get regular updates. Thank you and keep learning.